One of the things I've always loved is tea. That's my absolute favorite drink. The activity I enjoy the most is sitting down with a hot cup of tea at the end of the day. I find it so soothing. Um, it's always fascinated me how important tea time was to the British culture and why it's such a big part of their culture. I've often asked myself, how did it start? Who made it so popular? What time am I supposed to serve tea? What food should I include? One thing that I wasn't aware of was the multiple different tea times that are offered throughout the day in the British culture. Just a brief history, according to NPR, which is National Public Radio, tea and coffee both came to England in the 1600s, but coffee was more popular than tea. Tea didn't become popular until the 1600s. In 1662, King Charles II married Portuguese royal Catherine of Braganza, who was an ambassador to England. When this happened, Catherine brought tea popularity to England. Uh, One thing to note about sugar is because sugar was a luxury around this time, people who had it was of high status. In the 1600s, doctors began writing about the dangers of sugar because of the effects of the health. People's teeth were rotting out. Diabetes was a major factor in that as well. So, on the other hand, they also spoke a lot about the health benefits of tea, how it served as a diuretic to help flush the system out. So around 1720, it became popular to put just a little bit of sugar in the tea to add sweetness without going overboard. Since tea came from China, which already had an established trade with England, it was cheaper than coffee. So by the mid 1700s, tea imports took up 1/10 of overall tax income, and sugar imports skyrocketed. Needless to say, the pairing of tea and sugar really helped the economic growth of England and China. Most British around this time only ate around 2 meals a day, breakfast that include ale, bread, beef, and a huge dinner at 8 p.m. By incorporating tea time in their day, they were able to get through the rest of the day without feeling dizzy or sick or nauseous or having a fainting spell. There are three different kinds of tea times that the British recognize. The first one is the Levenses. The Levenses, as you can tell, is served around 11 o'clock in the morning. Uh, we Americans sometimes call it second breakfast. It's usually consumed as a late morning work break snack. It consists of hot tea and coffee and a light snack of muffins or biscuits. This tradition's not that old because there are no records of it before in the 1800s literature. Another tea time that's very popular is the afternoon tea. According to historicuk.com, afternoon tea is served around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This tea is recognized more by the upper class socialites. That's your more formal tea that we typically see in all of the movies or the TV shows. That's the more common tea that is observed. The afternoon tea was introduced by Anna, who's the seventh Duchess of Bedford in 1840. Since the British citizens only ate twice a day, Anna would have fainting spells. By mid-afternoon, she just was not going to make it until 8 p.m. when they had dinner. So she began asking for tea and bread, and she began to ask for tea and bread at around 4 o'clock. She enjoyed the little afternoon snack so much that she began inviting her friends over to have this afternoon snack with her. And it became so popular after that that it became the social event for the elite. Afternoon tea is usually served with cucumber sandwiches, scones, cakes, and pastries. So this is your more formal tea. Like I said earlier, it is one that we typically see in the movies or in television shows. Um, so the third one The third tea time is called high tea. Now, according to victorianera.org, not much information is known about the origins of high tea, other than that it was for the lower classes, taken after work, usually around 5 or 6 p.m. Now, this is a heavier meal than the afternoon tea, which would be the light cucumber sandwiches, like I said. The high tea is usually consisted of a more substantial meal, like salmon and salad, roasted pork, cheese, and pound cake. So, tea, especially hot tea, in my opinion, is one of the best drinks in the world. It's smooth and soothing and has multiple medicinal purposes. It offers just the right amount of caffeine without going overboard. And so now that I know what foods to serve with tea time, I can confidently invite my friends over for afternoon tea at the terrace. Thank you.